Ladies and gentlemen, there is a secret information that has now leaked concerning the grisly road accident that took place in Kisumu at the Coptic Roundabout. Before I dive into this critical information, I just want to send condolences to the families and friends who lost their loved ones in that particular grisly road accident. May their souls rest in peace. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Coptic Roundabout in Kisumu was named after the Coptic church. And this controversial church is owned by one person known as Father John Pesa.
Geti yangu, wale ambao walitengeneza barabara ndio waliweka roundabout mbaya. Na mimi siwezi kuangusha magari, hata magari ya abiria, hata magari ya ambaye anabeba tong, ambaye anabeba omena, ambaye anabeba chakula, na mimi hapana fanya hivyo.
There have been a lot of allegations that have touched that church. And now the residents of Kisumu are now linking that grisly road accident to this particular man of God.
Daktari wetu, tibu watu wako kwa kipole. Weka sandani, weka dawa. Kuna dawa na weke polepole.
Claiming that walitolewa kafara. But what is in the public domain, we have to speak about it. I'm not trying to spew allegations and to stir misinformation in this particular platform, but whatever thing that is happening that is of public concern, we have to talk about it. I'm not saying with certainty that I support those allegations, but there is a reason as to why people are now speculating this particular information. Now, this guy called Father John Pesa has had several allegations, and his church that is in the Coptic Roundabout has been associated with some cult behavior. And after this grisly road accident, Father John Pesa came out and defended himself, claiming that he was not involved in that particular accident. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a very crucial information. There is something that is now troubling a lot of Kenyans, that in this month of August, there has been several accidents that are very grisly and claiming a lot of lives in Kenya. There was an AMREF helicopter that got an accident in Mwihoho and claimed 6 lives on the spot. After that, there was this Coptic accident. Then there have been a series of accidents in this month of August. Now, Kenyans are saying that this country has something wrong with it. Is it the kind of leadership that we have in place? Because now the soil of Kenya is now draining blood. The soil of Kenya is now thirsty for blood. And even people have been speculating that this soil of Kenya will drink or will absorb a lot of blood in 2027. Now, what has been happening in this country is actually devastating. Kenyans are asking the government, if there are issues with the roads, why can't the roads be fixed? This Coptic roundabout is a black spot. But even the people from Luo Nyanza, especially the people from Kisumu, you remember that people from Luo Nyanza have now distanced themselves with opposition. They are claiming that they are in the government. Why can't they tell William Samoei Ruto to organize so that these roads can be done very well to avoid these accidents? Ladies and gentlemen, that is a very critical issue that needs to be addressed. The accidents that are now rising in this country are raising a lot of concern and raising a lot of alarm. And all the religious leaders in this country should organize for prayers, serious prayers for this country, because this country is apparently headed to the wrong direction.
Mimi nataka niombe viongozi wa dini na viongozi wa Kristo na wale wengine wote tushirikiane na tuombee taifa letu.
You know, when there is a lot of bloodshed in the country, it signals that the devil is at work. What about the leadership? We have the most God-fearing president in this country. We have Evangelist William Samoei Ruto. Can't he organize for a prayer day or a nationwide prayer day for this country? Because the rate at which the blood is being shed in this country is now very much alarming. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think, but this is very concerning.
Hata kama wewe ni Mkristo, yani mtu na akili zako uko kwa kanisa, alafu pastor anakuja anakuambia ati alipokea ujumbe kutoka kwa Mungu, anawasomea kutoka kwa simu ati amepokea message kutoka kwa Mungu. Yani hata ukue mjinga aje, hata ukue kama umerogwa ama mwenye alikuroga alikufa, yani unaamini hiyo naye?
Ever since the Gen Zs started protest in this country, we have seen a lot of blood being shed on the Kenyan land.
Kenya inanuka. Serikali inanuka. Polisi wananuka.
And the leaders are just happy. And some leaders like the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Kipchumba Murkomen, still had the audacity to say that the protesters or anybody who drew near a police station should be shot to be killed. And even the president justified that after saying that the protesters should be shot in the leg. Where is the respect for human dignity? Where is the respect for humanity? We have a leadership in a place that is cherishing bloodshed, that is condoning the losses of lives. You know, recently, the president said that they are now ready to compensate the families who lost their loved ones during the protests that have been happening in this country. But now it is even too late. You know, we have leadership, or we have people in the leadership who are thinking that lives can be compensated. People are nursing injuries. Families have lost their loved ones. We need a president, we need leaders who are upholding human dignity. And that is the reason as to why several Kenyans are dissatisfied with the kind of governance that we have in place as a country. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for now. I've done this video with a very heavy heart. This is Alois TV. In the event you're watching me for the first time, then please join my channel by hitting the subscribe button. If politics is one of the things that you're passionate about, then this is definitely one of the best platforms for you. Bye-bye.